Hi everyone. A while ago, we had asked people to join the most unique month-long festival of the year, the MTR Discovery Presents the Badam Habba, where we celebrated a whole wide world of desserts and beverages made with just one instant mix, which is the MTR Badam drink mix. We received hundreds of recipes from Karnataka, and today 10 of them are here today joining me for the masterclass. So welcome everybody to the MTR Discovery Badam Habba Dashera special episode, and I welcome each one of you to this masterclass and thank you for sharing all those special recipes with us. Well, I've always been thinking, what is it that I can make unique for this masterclass that is also special for the festival of Dashera? With the MTR Badam drink mix that is so versatile that you can make so many desserts and beverages out of it, I was totally out of ideas, but finally I did come up with something really special. Today, I'm going to be making Chandrakala, which is really special sweet, and my family and friends simply love it too. So, without wasting any time, I'm just going to go right in and get started. But before we get started, I wanted to give each one of you a chance to also ask questions. Do let me know if you have any questions for me right now, or you can stop me anytime during the masterclass and ask questions as well.
Can you tell us what are the key ingredients of the MTR Badam drink mix?
Yes, that's a wonderful question. The MTR Badam drink mix has real badam, kesar and elaichi, which adds to the rich taste to the desserts and beverages that you make at home. It really elevates the taste of any dish to which you add the MTR Badam drink mix. It's an absolutely multi-purpose and versatile drink mix, and it's packed with flavors and taste. So I hope that answers your question. Great. So now I'm just going to go ahead and share with you the various ingredients we're going to be using for making the Chandrakala. So the Chandrakala is a three-step process, right? So first I'm going to be making the crust, which is the outer cover, then the filling, and then I'm going to be deep frying it and then putting it in sugar syrup and finally serving it along with some rabdi. So let me just walk you through it. So for the crust, I have some maida over here, some ghee, a little bit of salt, and I'm also going to be adding the MTR Badam drink mix into the crust to add that flavor to the crust as well. And that's another thing that I did special for this recipe. And after that, for the stuffing, I have some koya which I've grated and kept. You can crumble it too. And I've got some chopped pistachios, some cashew nuts, and the MTR Badam drink mix, which I'm going to be adding to the stuffing as well, right? And for the sugar syrup, I have sugar, of course, and I have some water, and I have some gulab jal, which I'm going to be flavoring the sugar syrup with. And I'm going to be serving this along with some rabdi, the Chandrakala along with some rabdi to make it extra special. And this rabdi I made this morning and added some MTR Badam drinks mix to this as well. Isn't that wonderful? Well, that's right. So I'm going to go ahead with the preparation of this, but before I step into the preparation, if any of you have any questions, go ahead and ask me.
What are the various dishes we can prepare using MTR Badam mix?
That's another wonderful question. The MTR Badam mix is so versatile that it's a multi-purpose mix. You can use it to make rich tasting desserts and beverages from the comfort of your home. And it's absolutely delicious, from thandai to your firni to rasmalai to the rabdi which I made today, and so much more. So yeah, absolutely versatile drink mix that you can make delicious beverages and desserts right from your own kitchen. So thanks for the question, and I hope I answered that. So now let's just get ready and get started with the preparation. The first thing that I'm going to do is to make the crust for the Chandrakala, which essentially means I have to knead the dough along with some ghee, and I'm going to share some tips of what all you need to do. So I'm just going to go ahead and clear up my space and then get started for Chandrakala. So now to make the crust, take a large wide mixing bowl so it becomes easy to make the dough. I'm going to add in the maida and the salt, just a pinch. And I'm going to add in the MTR Badam drink mix, just a little bit. And I'm going to mix all the dry ingredients first. Okay, now that the dry ingredients are mixed, I'm going to go ahead and add in the ghee. Right, ghee is extremely critical, and then I'm going to mix the ghee into the flour mixture until I get coarse crumb texture, right?
How can we identify a coarse crumb texture?
Yeah, so that's a wonderful question. So how do you ensure that you get a coarse crumb texture? What is coarse crumb texture, right? Many of us have that question in our minds. So the flour is very smooth and it's nice and flowy. But the moment you add ghee into the flour and you keep mixing the ghee into the flour, it forms a coarse crumb. Notice that it's no longer smooth right now and it's got a coarse crumb. So you need to keep rubbing the ghee into the flour mixture, and that's extremely critical, and until you get a coarse crumb texture. After you get the coarse crumb texture, you need to test whether the amount of ghee that you added was enough for the flour that you used, right? So I'm going to show you that test in just a bit. So now this is the coarse crumb texture, right? So it's nice and coarse, it's not smooth. So this is perfect. It's like breadcrumbs. So now that we have mixed all the ghee into the flour, this is great. And after that, how will you know if you have added the right amount of ghee? So what you have to do is take like a fistful of flour in your hand. If it holds it together, then you know that the amount of ghee is right. And if you just tap it, and if it breaks easily, then the amount of ghee that you've added is just perfect. So that's it. So I hope I answered your question. Very important technique to understand what is the coarse crumb texture, okay? And extremely important to get a really nice, soft, crunchy crust, right? You want the crust to be nice and crisp, at the same time soft. It shouldn't be kadak, which is brittle. Wonderful. So now I'm going to add little water at a time, and then need to make a nice smooth and a firm dough. And once we have done that, I'm going to allow it to rest. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and mix all this up. Just add little water at a time, okay, because you don't want to add too much water. Just need it to come together to form a nice smooth dough. Similar to a puri dough, I would say, but don't make it too soggy, right? All right, this looks good. So what I'm going to do is to now cover the dough, allow it to rest till we prepare the stuffing for about 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and cover it. I'm going to keep it to the side, and I'm going to now make the stuffing. So now for the stuffing, take another large mixing bowl. I'm going to go ahead and add in the crumpled koya into it. And I have some chopped pistachios. I'm going to add that in. And cashew nuts. And finally, the MTR Badam drink mix, which I'm just going to go ahead and measure. Add this in, packed with all the flavors from real badam, kesar and elaichis, and just mix it up. I can smell the flavors of the MTR Badam mix, and it's brilliant. Just the flavors from kesar, elaichis, all just coming in as soon as you add the powder in. All right, this is good. Now I'm going to go ahead and keep this to the side and get ready to roll out the dough and then shape them, okay? So I have the dough here with me, and now I'm just going to roll it into one large circle. There are two ways you can do it. Either you roll it into one large circle and use a katori to make a smaller circle, or you can make small balls and then roll it into small circles, whichever you prefer. I prefer rolling it out into a large circle and then cutting it out. So that's what I'm going to do now. And then you use like a katori and just simply cut out a circle there. Isn't that easy? Great. And you take the remaining dough, put it aside, and we'll be reusing it again. And what you have to do is to actually shape these doughs, roll out the doughs just a little bit more so that it becomes a little thin. Usually it's thick, and you just roll it out so that you make it a little thin. And after that, we'll fill it. So now I'm going to take a small spoon and fill up a portion and place it towards one end, right? Based on the size of your circle, you can decide how much filling that goes into it. You should essentially be able to fold it into half, and then we're going to be shaping the edges. I'm just going to go ahead and fold it and press down the edges, bring it out to the edge, and then start shaping it. Right, so typically Chandrakala has a nice ring shaped at the end, and that's what I'm going to show you. So what you have to do is to fold and just keep folding, and get that ring shape there. So it's actually quite simple.
What if I'm not able to shape the dough well?
Yeah, absolutely, right? So not all the time, many of us are able to get this ring shape for the Chandrakala, and yes, it takes a little bit of practice to do this. And if you're not able to, get this shape, an easy way that I tell everybody that you can shape your gujiyas or the Chandrakalas is, I'm going to show you in just a bit, by sealing the edges with a fork, and you will get a great design straight away. Okay, and I'm just going to show you that. So we'll just put some filling in the edge. This is good. And now I'm going to bring the other side here, and notice that the crust has badam pieces from the badam drink mix. Isn't that wonderful? So the crust is going to have some crunch and taste too. So now just seal the edges. Wonderful. Now that you've sealed it, take a fork and just press it. Look at that. Isn't that a beautiful design? That's it. So don't have to worry about, turning that and making a nice swirl. This works great as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and make the remaining just like that with the fork so that it becomes easy for all of you to try it at home. All right, I've shaped all of them. Now I'm going to deep fry them in oil. So the oil has been preheating on medium heat, and you have to ensure that it's on low to medium heat and not on high heat, because the moment you put it on hot oil, it'll get brown quickly on the outside, and the inside will take a longer time to cook. So ensure that it's on low heat. Okay, just slide each one of them into the pan. So now ensure that you keep flipping and turning while it's deep frying, so it gets fried evenly on both the sides. We want to fry it on low to medium heat until it becomes crisp and golden on both the sides. Okay, and it has to get cooked from the inside as well, the dough, so it's very critical. So we'll just wait for that. So notice that the Chandrakalas have got a nice golden crust, and I've been frying it for close to about 5 minutes on medium heat, and this is exactly how you want it. I went ahead and fried the remaining batches so I can just show you how it looks. So this looks just perfect, and now that this is done, I'm just going to go ahead and drain out the excess oil and then put them in paper towels, and after that show you how to make the sugar syrup as well. So now for the sugar syrup, I have some water here which is boiling, and to this I'm just going to go ahead and add in the sugar, and I'm going to dissolve it, keep stirring it until it gets dissolved. Okay. And once it gets dissolved, we'll be making one string consistency of the syrup, which essentially means when you feel the syrup between your fingers, it should be sticky. And when it's sticky, then you know that it's done. So we'll just wait for that. It'll take close to about 5 to 7 minutes to get us one string consistency for this quantity. So now that the sugar is dissolved completely, I'm going to now remove the ladle from inside and allow it to come to a boil and let it keep boiling. And as it keeps boiling, it'll start forming a syrup-like consistency. So we'll just wait for that. So the syrup has been boiling for close to about 5 minutes now, and it's become really sticky. And when you put it, drop it down from a spoon, you'll see that there's a string that is forming, and that's exactly how you want it. You can also touch it between your fingers, and if it is sticky, then you know the syrup is done. Great. So now at this stage, I'm just going to go ahead and turn off the heat, and after that, dip these Chandrakalas in it. So dip it for just about a minute, right? And then allow it to soak for just about a minute, and then take it out. Just turn it around so it just coats on all the sides. And now that it's soaked for just a bit, I'm just going to go ahead and flavor the sugar syrup with some gulab jal, and we'll just stir the gulab jal in, and I can smell the flavors coming through. It's just wonderful. That's great. Now that this is done, I'm just going to go ahead and drain it out of the sugar syrup, put it in a platter, and I'm ready to serve it. So it's been absolutely wonderful to have you guys here with me today, and this masterclass is going to be etched in my memory.
So I'm very much thankful to MTR Foods for the opportunity and to explore my new ideas. So and also thank you to Archana ma'am for your wonderful masterclass recipes, and your recipes are always inspiration to us. Thank you once again to the MTR.
And I wholeheartedly thank MTR for providing us amazing range of products which are must have in all the kitchen.
ಹಾಗೂ ಅರ್ಚನಾ ದೋಶಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳನ್ನು ಹೇಳಬೇಕೆನ್ನುತ್ತಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಇವರು MTR ಬಾದಾಮ್ ಹಬ್ಬ ಎಂಬ ಸ್ಪರ್ಧೆಯನ್ನು ಆಯೋಜಿಸಿದರು. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ರೆಸಿಪಿ ಟಾಪ್ 10ಗೆ ಆಯ್ಕೆ.
Request you to just try out many other recipes using MTR Badam mix, which turns out super amazing. Thank you. I thoroughly enjoyed the whole process of MTR Badam Habba. Thank you so much.
Thank you MTR for hosting MTR Badam Habba contest. The masterclass with Archana of Archana's Kitchen was inspiring and informative. Glad to be a part of it. Thank you once again.
I hope you get to try this recipe of Chandrakala and do let me know how it went. And yes, wishing you all a very happy Dashara. Stay safe and stay happy.